Child, be still for a moment. Let everything you've been carrying pause, just long enough for your heart to breathe. You've been moving through life with so much weight on your shoulders. There have been days where even getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. Nights where you stared at the ceiling, hoping for sleep, yet all you found were questions swirling in your mind. I know, I've seen it all, and right now, I want to draw your heart back into my presence. Gently, quietly, lovingly. Take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Let your thoughts soften like leaves falling into still water. Because what I'm about to say is meant for your soul. You've wondered where I am. You've asked yourself why I feel distant. You've questioned whether I'm listening and whether I still hear your prayers. But listen to me now. I am closer than you think, closer than the uncertainty that fills your mind, closer than the loneliness you hide from others, closer than the pain you've carried in silence. You may not always feel my presence, but my presence has never left you. Not once, not for a moment. There hasn't been a single second of your life where my eyes weren't on you, where my love wasn't surrounding you, where my hand wasn't near your heart. Even in your darkest seasons, I walked beside you. Even in your heaviest nights, I stayed near. Even in your moments of confusion and fear, I held you, quietly, gently, faithfully. You mistaken my silence for distance, but it was never distance. It was closeness too deep for words. It was protection too strong to be seen. It was guidance unfolding in ways you didn't understand yet. My child, you haven't been walking alone, not even for a heartbeat. When you cried quietly into your pillow, I was there. When you sat in your room staring at nothing, wondering, I was there. When you forced a smile so others wouldn't worry, I was right beside you. When you whispered prayers in frustration, not knowing what else to say, I heard every word. I am not far. I am near. Near to your confusion, near to your questions, near to your hidden hurt, near to every moment you felt like giving up but didn't. You thought I stepped away, but I stepped closer. You thought I was quiet, but I was speaking in ways you haven't recognized yet. You thought you were walking through this season alone, but you were surrounded by my love, my protection, and my purpose. You didn't feel me, but you were never without me. And now I want to draw you even closer. Closer to my peace, closer to my presence, closer to the truth your heart has forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. You are not overlooked. You are not walking through life unnoticed. You are mine, and I am with you, always. My child, there are places inside you that even you don't visit often. Places you've kept tucked away because life didn't give you time to process them, or because you feared what you might find if you looked too closely. And yet, I see them all. I see the worries you hide behind your smile. I see the questions you never put into words. I see the moments where you said, I'm fine, even though your heart felt anything but fine. I see the pressure you quietly carry, the pressure to be strong, the pressure to hold everything together, the pressure to pretend everything is okay. You have done so much on your own strength, more than anyone realizes, more than you give yourself credit for. But hear me gently. You were never meant to carry life alone. The burdens you feel were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. The fears that creep in were never meant to control your thoughts. The pain from your past was never meant to shape your identity. You've been fighting battles that were too heavy for a human heart. You've been trying to solve problems that only I can fix. You've been walking with wounds that I've been waiting to heal. My child, you've been tired for so long, haven't you? tired in ways you rarely admit, tired emotionally, tired mentally, tired spiritually. Some days you feel like life keeps moving, but you're standing still. Other days you feel like you're moving, but you're not sure where you're going. You wonder why everything feels so heavy. You wonder why you can't feel me the way you used to. You wonder if something is wrong with you, if something is wrong with your faith. But nothing is wrong with you. Nothing. You are growing. You are healing. You are being refined. You are being drawn into deeper trust. Trust that doesn't rely on feelings, but on truth. And the truth is this: I am closer to you in this season than I have ever been. Even when you don't feel me, I'm there. Even when you think your prayers are too quiet, I hear them. Even when you doubt your strength, I carry you. Even when everything inside you feels uncertain, my love remains constant, steady, unmoving. There hasn't been a step you've taken where my presence didn't surround you. There hasn't been a thought you've had that I didn't understand. There hasn't been a tear you shed that I didn't notice. There hasn't been a night you struggled that I didn't watch over. You may feel unnoticed by the world, but you are fully known by me. You may feel unheard by people, but every word you whisper reaches my heart. You may feel misunderstood, but I understand you completely. Your past, your pain, your personality, your needs, your fears, your hopes, your dreams. I know what you hide. I know what you suppress. I know what you pretend doesn't. I know the memories you avoid and the thoughts you wish would disappear. And I hold all of it gently, patiently, lovingly. You are safe with me, even when you're not sure what to do next. I am not far. I am not distant. I am not silent. I am here, sitting with you in the quiet, walking with you in the unknown, holding you through the heaviness, whispering peace into your spirit in ways you may not consciously recognize, but your soul feels. Take another breath, my child. You're doing better than you think, much better, and you are not behind. You are not lost. You are not failing. You are exactly where I can reach you, exactly where I can guide you, exactly where I can draw you closer. This season is not evidence of my absence. It is evidence of my nearness, working quietly, deeply, lovingly, within the hidden parts of your heart. And soon, you will feel me again more clearly, not because I move closer, but because you will finally be at peace. My child, there are so many moments in your life where you thought nothing was happening, but in reality, I was protecting you in ways you never saw. You don't even realize how many storms I diverted from your path, how many wrong turns I blocked, how many battles I fought on your behalf before you ever knew there was danger. There were opportunities you wanted, places you wanted to go, people you wanted to keep, doors you begged me to open. And when those doors stayed shut, you wondered if I was ignoring you. But I wasn't ignoring you. I was shielding you. Because some things you thought were blessings would have broken you. Some people you prayed to stay would have drained you. Some paths you wanted to walk would have taken you far from peace. You asked me for clarity, but if I had shown you everything I protected you from, your heart wouldn't have been able to bear it. So I protected you quietly, gently, silently, faithfully. There were nights when you felt lonely, but you had no idea that I was removing people who only pretended to care. There were moments where you felt like you were falling behind, but I was actually slowing you down to keep you from running into something harmful. There were seasons where everything felt delayed, but those delays were lifelines, divine pauses that kept you safe and aligned with what I planned for you. You thought life was falling apart, but it was falling into place, just in ways your heart didn't understand yet. My child, I have always been your protector. Not protection you could see, but protection that held you in the background. Protection that wrapped around you when you didn't even know you needed it. Protection that guided you away from people who weren't meant to walk where you're going. Every closed door was a rescue. Every unexpected ending was a redirection. Every delay was preparation. Every disappointment was a... You never walked through life unguarded. Not once. Even in the moments you felt most vulnerable, I stood between you and the things that would have wounded you deeply. Even when you felt abandoned, I was placing walls of peace around your spirit, so the wrong voices couldn't shape your destiny. Even when your heart was breaking, I was catching every shattered piece and shaping them into something stronger. You didn't recognize it at the time because my protection rarely announces itself. It simply stays close, quiet, unseen, but unfailingly present. And my child, I know there are wounds you carry from people who promised to stay, but walked away. But please hear me. I didn't let them leave to hurt you. I let them leave to heal you. They couldn't go where I'm taking you. Their presence would have limited your growth. Their influence would have damaged your spirit. Their words would have planted fear instead of faith. So I released you from what was holding you down long before you knew you needed release. You may have felt abandoned, but you were actually being protected. You may have felt rejected, but you were actually being redirected. You may have felt broken, but you were actually being rebuilt. Every step of your journey, every chapter you didn't understand, every season you wished would end sooner, all of it was covered by my hand. You are here today, not by luck, not by chance, not by your own strength, but because I kept you, kept your mind, kept your heart, kept your spirit, kept your purpose intact, even when life tried to crush it. You didn't survive because you were strong. You survived because I stayed close. Closer than you realized, closer than you felt, closer than you could measure. And I am close even now. Stay with me, my child. You are not walking alone. You never have. You never will. My child, there have been moments in your life when you thought you were walking in darkness completely alone. Moments where you said quietly in your heart, God, where are you? You looked at your situation, your pain, your confusion, and you assumed that my silence meant my absence. But I need you to hear this clearly today. You were never alone, not even for a breath, not even for a heartbeat. In your loneliest nights, I sat beside you. In your moments of doubt, I whispered reassurance into your spirit. In your moments of fear, I wrapped my peace around you even when you didn't realize it. There were times when all you could do was sit quietly and hold your own hands, trying to make sense of everything. You thought no one understood you. No one saw the battles in your mind. No one knew how deeply you were hurting. But I knew. I saw. I understood. Every bit of it. When people walked past you, I stood still with you. When others dismissed your pain, I listened to every unspoken word. When you didn't even know what to pray, I heard the cries beneath your silence. My child, there were days when you felt weak, so weak that even standing emotionally felt impossible. You tried to hold yourself together, but your heart felt like soft glass that could shatter with one more disappointment. In those moments, you didn't walk forward because of your strength. You walked forward because I carried you. Do you remember those days when you said, I don't know how I made it through? You made it through because I lifted you, quietly, gently, without drawing attention to myself. Some of the greatest miracles in your life were not the storms I calmed around you, but the strength I poured inside you so you could endure them. I steadied your mind when it wanted to spiral. I guarded your heart when it wanted to break completely. I held your spirit when it felt like giving up. My nearness wasn't loud. It didn't come with lightning or thunder. It came as a quiet presence, a sense of peace you couldn't explain, a breath of strength you didn't expect, a moment of clarity in the middle of confusion. That was me. It was always me. The voice that calmed you was mine. The comfort in your chest was mine. The sudden peace in your storm was mine. The hope that flickered when everything seemed lost. That was my hand on your heart. I didn't leave you alone in the night. I didn't leave you alone in the waiting. I didn't leave you alone in the heartbreak. You didn't always feel me, because the noise of life tried to drown me out. But even then, I stayed beside you like a quiet light, guiding you through the fog. And now I am drawing even closer, closer to your thoughts, closer to your decisions, closer to the parts of you that you've hidden from everyone, including yourself. This is a season of gentle awakening, a season where you will begin to feel me again in the small, quiet moments. A season where my peace will settle into places that have been restless for years. A season where my love will soften wounds you forgot were still hurting. You are entering a chapter where my presence will no longer feel distant. It will feel familiar, like coming home after being away for too long. Because I never stepped away. I never took my eyes off you, and I am not about to let you walk into your future alone. My child, come rest in me. Let me hold you the way you've been holding yourself. Let me take the weight you weren't built to carry. Let me show you how close I truly am. This nearness, this peace, this warmth you're beginning to feel, this is me. And I am not leaving. Not now, not ever. My child, there were moments in your life when you were so close to giving up. Moments you never spoke about. Moments you hid so well that even the people closest to you had no idea how much pain you were carrying. There were nights when you lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wishing life felt easier, wishing your heart didn't feel so heavy, wishing your mind could finally be quiet. You whispered into the darkness, God, I don't know how much more I can take. But even then, even in that place of quiet desperation, I was holding you together. You didn't fall apart because I kept your spirit steady. You didn't break because I reinforced the weakest places inside you. You didn't lose your mind because I protected your thoughts when they were close to overwhelming you. There were days when you forced yourself to get up and face the world, even though your heart wanted to stay hidden. Do you remember those mornings when it took every ounce of strength just to get through the first hour of your day? You thought you were doing it alone, but every step you took was a step I supported. Every breath you fought for was a breath I strengthened. Every moment you said to yourself, I have to keep going, I whispered back, you're not going alone. You survived things that should have crushed you. You endured seasons that could have hardened you. You walked through storms that were meant to break your spirit. And yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still searching for me, still fighting for hope. That strength inside you didn't come from nowhere. It came from me. I was the hand beneath your weakness. I was the courage behind your fear. I was the calm in the middle of your chaos. I was the soft whisper in the back of your mind telling you, don't stop now. You didn't realize it at the time, but every time you wiped your tears, I was beside you. Every time you felt exhausted, I was lifting you. Every time you felt empty, I was pouring life back into you. You thought you barely made it through, but the truth is, You made it through because I carried you through the moments where you could not carry yourself. My child, I need you to understand something so your heart can rest. Your survival was not an accident. Your strength was not a coincidence. Your resilience was not self-created. You didn't make it because you were powerful. You made it because my love held you in places your own strength never could. And even now, in this very moment, I am still holding you, still steadying you, still carrying you, still surrounding you with a love that does not leave when life becomes heavy. I know you think you have to be strong all the time. I know you feel pressure to pretend you're okay, even when you're. You don't have to be strong for me. You don't have to hide your broken places. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to act like you have everything figured out. I don't love you because you're strong. I love you because you're mine. And I'm not waiting for you to reach a better version of yourself before I draw near. I'm not waiting for you to get everything right before I stay close. I am close to you now, in your confusion, in your weakness, in your searching, in your exhaustion. You do not need to prove anything to me. You only need to rest. Rest in my presence. Rest in my love. Rest in the truth that I am closer than you think. And I always have been. You are not alone in this moment. You are not alone in this season. You are not alone in what comes next. I am with you. I am holding you. I am carrying you. I am surrounding you. My nearness is not fragile. My love is not temporary. My presence does not come and go. I am. My child, there have been seasons in your life when you desperately wanted answers, but instead, you felt surrounded by silence. You prayed with sincerity, yet the situation didn't change. You stretched your faith, yet the breakthrough seemed far away. You tried to stay hopeful, yet your heart still felt heavy. And in those moments, you wondered if I was listening, if I was moving, if I was even paying attention to all the things that were weighing you down. But I want you to understand something deeply. My work in your life has never depended on whether you could see it. I was moving even when everything looked still. I was preparing even when everything felt delayed. I was shifting things even when your eyes saw no progress. You see only the surface, but I see behind the scenes. The pieces, the timing, the people, the outcomes, the dangers, the blessings. The things that must align with perfect precision. Sometimes, your miracle requires movement in places you don't have access to yet. And while you were waiting, I was arranging. I was softening hearts that once resisted you. I was closing doors that would have harmed you. I was opening paths that were not ready before. I was preparing opportunities that needed time to mature. I was building strength in you that you didn't know you needed. And while you questioned whether I was silent, I was actually working in a deeper way than you could see. Just because the seed is underground doesn't mean it's not growing. Just because the cocoon is closed doesn't mean transformation isn't happening. Just because the night is dark doesn't mean the morning isn't coming. There were moments when you felt stuck, but you were actually being protected. There were moments when you felt delayed, but you were actually being prepared. There were moments when you felt rejected, but you were actually being redirected. Nothing in your life has been wasted, random, or unnoticed. I have used every season, every prayer, every disappointment, every tear, every moment of confusion to shape something beautiful in you. You looked at your circumstances and thought nothing was happening. But inside your spirit, inside your character, inside your purpose, everything was happening. Growth was happening. Healing was happening. Strength was happening. Faith was happening, clarity was happening, transformation was happening. All the while, you thought I was far away, but I was closer than ever, guiding the process, guarding the outcome, and preparing the blessing you weren't ready to hold yet. If I had answered every prayer the moment you prayed it, you would have missed the deeper work. You would have walked into blessings you weren't prepared to carry. You would have settled for less than what I had planned for you. So I slowed things down, not to frustrate you, but to form you. I allowed certain things to take time, not to deny you, but to strengthen you. I kept doors closed, not to hurt you, but to protect you until the right doors opened at the right time. My silence was not a lack of presence. It was a season of alignment, a sacred pause before divine direction. My child, you didn't see what I was doing, but you will see what it becomes. And when you look back, you will realize I was never distant. I was designing. I was shaping. I was preparing. I was working in every detail of your story. You are not forgotten. You are not passed over. You are not unseen. You are in the middle of my careful, loving, perfect process. And I am so close, closer than your thoughts, closer than your worries, closer than your fears. Stay with me, my child. You're entering a season where everything I've been doing behind the scenes will begin to unfold before. My child, there are fears inside you that you've never spoken out loud. Not because you don't trust people, but because some fears feel too deep, too personal, too complicated to put into words. I know those fears. I know the ones that arrive at night, the ones that follow you during the day, the ones you try to silence with busyness, the ones you try to outrun, but feel lingering in the background. You tell others you're okay, but I see the uncertainty underneath. You smile, but I feel the tension in your heart. You move forward, but I sense the quiet questions that sit behind every step. And I need you to know, I am not intimidated by your fears. I am not disappointed by your doubts. I am not frustrated by your questions. I hold all of it with tenderness, with patience, with understanding deeper than your own. There are moments when you fear losing the things you love. Moments when you fear failing before you even begin. Moments when you fear not strong enough, not worthy enough. But hear me gently. You are enough because you are mine. You are worthy because I chose you. You are safe because I am with you. I know the fears you don't voice, the fear of repeating old mistakes, the fear of trusting the wrong people, the fear of being disappointed again, the fear of your life not changing, the fear of change itself, the fear of getting hurt again, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being understood. You've carried these fears silently, thinking they make you weak. But my child, they don't expose your weakness. They reveal your humanity. And I love you in that humanity. I love you where you're strong and where you're unsure. I love you in the light and in the shadows of your thoughts. I love you in your faith and in your fear. Your fears don't push me away. If anything, they pull me closer. I don't wait for you to be fearless before I come near. I come near to make you fearless. I come near to quiet the lies that frighten you. I come near to settle the worries that overwhelm you. I come near to remind you that you don't walk into tomorrow alone. You fear uncertainty, but I walk ahead of you. You fear being unprepared, but I equip you gently, quietly, faithfully. You fear the unknown, but nothing is unknown to me. You fear losing control, but control was never meant to rest on your shoulders. You fear not being strong enough, But I never ask you to be strong on your own. My child, every fear you've carried has been held in my hands, even when you didn't give it to me. And now I want you to begin releasing them, one by one, like leaves falling from your fingers into a gentle stream. Let go of the fear of failure. I am guiding your steps. Let go of the fear of loneliness. I am closer than your breath. Let go of the fear of your future. I have already prepared it. Let go of the fear of your past repeating. I have broken those chains. Let go of the fear of being forgotten. I could never forget you. Let go of the fear of not being enough. I am your enough. Let go of the fear of falling apart. I am the one who holds you together. You don't have to carry these fears into the next chapter of your life. This is a season where my nearness will comfort you more deeply than ever before. You will feel me in your quiet moments. You will sense my peace in your restless nights. You will notice my hand in the details of your days, because I have never walked away. Not for a moment. Not even in your fear. Not even now. My child, there are parts of you that have been hurting for far longer than you admit. Not because you chose to ignore them, but because life moved so quickly that you didn't have the space or the safety to face what needed healing. Some wounds hid themselves behind responsibilities. Others hid behind a busy schedule, behind your strength, behind the role you felt you had to play for others. But even the wounds you forgot, I did not forget. I saw the places where disappointment lingered long after you moved on. I saw the places where old memories still shaped your reactions. I saw the places where unkind words settled into your heart and made you question your worth. I saw the parts of you that still carried the echoes of something painful. And now, gently, slowly, patiently, I am healing those places. Not with force, not with pressure, but with presence. You don't heal by trying harder. You heal by resting in me. You heal by letting me reach the places that you're afraid to touch. You heal by letting my love go deeper than the wounds that shaped you. My child, I know the moments in your past that made you stop trusting. I know the betrayals that taught you to be cautious. I know the losses that made your heart tighten. I know the failures that made you doubt your own ability. I know the experiences that made you feel unworthy of good things. And none of those things define you in my eyes. You are not the words that hurt you. You are not the mistakes you regret. You are not the moments you wish you could erase. You are not the choices you made when you were in pain. You are not the fears that grew out of loneliness. You are mine, and my child is defined by love, not by wounds. I am healing the insecurity that made you compare yourself to others. I am healing the fear that made you think you weren't good enough. I am healing the disappointment that made you afraid to hope again. I am healing the heartbreak that you buried so deeply you forgot it was still there. Some healing comes softly, like peace settling into your chest for no apparent reason. Some healing comes slowly, like new strength forming inside you where weakness once lived. Some healing comes subtly, like clarity replacing confusion without you noticing when it began. Other healing comes suddenly, like a weight lifting that you didn't realize you were carrying. Like tears you didn't expect unlocking years of silence. Like a moment of truth dissolving a lie you believed for too long. All of this is me. All of this is my nearness. All of this is my love working deeply within you. You sometimes think you're still broken, but what you call broken, I call becoming. You sometimes think you're behind, but what you call behind, I call being reshaped. You sometimes think your heart is weak, but what you call weak, I call ready to be renewed. I am closer to your healing than you realize, closer to lifting your burdens, closer to breaking the patterns that have held you for years, closer to restoring the parts of you that life tried to silence. Healing is not distant. It is happening now, in this moment. With every breath you take in my presence, let your heart soften. Let your spirit rest. Let your mind release the pressure to figure everything out. You don't need to manage your healing. You only need to surrender to it. Because I am the healer, and I am closer, not just to your life, but to your wounds, your memories, your deepest truth. And I am healing you in ways you haven't even recognized yet. My child, I know how much the unknown troubles your heart. You like to see the road ahead, to understand the next step, to make sense of the direction you're walking. You want clarity, you want assurance, you want stability, you want to know, really know, that everything will be okay. But hear me, you are not stepping into the unknown alone. You are stepping into it with me. I go before you. I walk beside you. I stand behind you. I surround you. There is no direction you can turn where my presence won't already be there, waiting to guide you. I know the uncertainties that keep you awake, the questions of what if, the worries about the future, the fears of making the wrong decision, the pressure to choose the right path. You've asked me, Lord, what should I do? So many times, sometimes with hope, sometimes with fear, sometimes with exhaustion. And my answer, spoken gently to your spirit, has always been the same. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to take the next step with me. I don't ask you to see the entire path. I don't ask you to map out your future. I don't ask you to carry the weight of everything that might happen. I ask you to trust, to breathe, to walk forward with me one moment at a time. Because the unknown that scares you is the place where I reveal myself deeper. The uncertainty you feel is the space where your faith expands. The silence you hear is the room where my guidance grows louder. You don't need perfect understanding to walk into a future I have already prepared. You think you're stepping into darkness, but I see the full landscape ahead of you. You think you're walking without direction, but I have already aligned every step with perfect timing. Nothing about your future is uncertain to me. Not the path, not the timing, not the people, not the resources, not the outcome. I see it all, and I hold it all. Your job is not to predict the future. Your job is not to prevent every mistake. Your job is not to avoid every possible wrong turn. Your job is simply to stay close to me. If you stay close, you cannot get lost. If you stay close, you cannot go the wrong direction. If you stay close, you cannot miss what I ordained for you. You fear stepping into the future alone, but my child, you will never take a single step without me. Not a step into a new season, not a step into a new relationship, not a step into a new responsibility, not a step into healing, not a step into rebuilding, not a step into purpose. Every step you take is guided by the one who knows every detail of your destiny. I have gone ahead of you to prepare blessings you haven't prayed for yet. I have gone ahead of you to remove obstacles you didn't know were waiting. I have gone ahead of you to place favor where you will one day stand. I have gone ahead of you so that why, every piece is already in place. What feels uncertain to you is fully known to me. What feels risky to you is already secured by my hand. What feels overwhelming to you is carried easily by my strength. You don't need answers right now. You don't need a map. You don't need certainty. You only need me. And I am closer than you think, closer than the questions, closer than the fears, closer than the unknown itself. So breathe, my child. Rest. Lean into me. The future you fear is the same future I have already filled with purpose, peace, and my presence. You are stepping into the unknown, but not alone. Never alone. I am here. I am near. I am guiding you one gentle step at a time. My child, there is a kind of strength that does not come from effort, from striving, from pushing yourself harder, but from resting in me. You often believe that your strength comes from what you do, how much you endure, how well you handle everything. But true strength, the strength that lasts, does not grow in noise. It grows in stillness. It grows in surrender. It grows in the quiet places where your heart finally stops fighting and starts trusting. There have been seasons when you felt weak, fragile, emotionally drained. You wondered why your energy was low, why your motivation felt thin, why your spirit felt heavy. But weakness is not failure. Weakness is not a sign that I am far. Weakness is where my strength comes closest. You think strength means pushing through, but sometimes strength means slowing down, breathing, resting, allowing yourself to be human in my presence. You don't have to be unbreakable to be loved by me. You don't have to be perfect to be held by me. You don't have to always be strong for me to stay near. My nearness is not dependent on your performance. It comes from my love, unchanging, unfailing, ever present. My child, the quiet heaviness you've been feeling is not a sign of spiritual failure. It is the sign that your soul is craving deeper connection with me. This is why you felt the pull toward solitude, toward reflection, toward stillness. Not to isolate you, but to strengthen you. You are entering a season where inner strength will grow in ways you didn't expect. I am strengthening your patience, not through pressure, but through peace. I am strengthening your clarity, not through loud answers, but through gentle guidance. I am strengthening your courage, not by removing all fear, but by reminding you that fear has no power when my presence fills your heart. I am strengthening your faith, not with dramatic moments, but with quiet confidence that rises within you like a slow sunrise. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is soft. Sometimes it is steady. Sometimes it is hidden until the moment you need it. You will look back and realize that the places where you felt weakest became the places where my strength took root most deeply. You will realize that the moments where you felt tired became the moments where your spirit learned to rest in me. You will realize that the days when you felt unsure became the days where trust grew stronger than fear. Your strength is not leaving you. It is being rebuilt from the inside out. I am strengthening your mind to silence the lies that once overwhelmed you. I am strengthening your heart to love freely again without fear of being broken. I am strengthening your discernment to see clearly who is for you and who is not. I am strengthening your peace so deeply that chaos will no longer shake you. You are not weakening, you are being fortified. You are not falling apart, you are being reshaped. You are not losing control, you are learning to surrender it. And you are not alone in any of this. I am here, closer than the thoughts that rush through your mind, closer than the emotions you wrestle with quietly, closer than the breath you just took in. My child, you are becoming stronger, not by your own effort, but because my presence is settling into places that were once filled with fear. This is the strength that will carry you into your next season. This is the strength that will hold you steady when life feels uncertain. This is the strength that comes from knowing I am close, I am here, and I will never leave you. My child, There have been moments when hope felt far away from you. Moments when you looked at your circumstances and wondered if things would ever change. Moments when you felt stuck between what you prayed for and what you were living through. You tried to stay positive. You tried to trust. You tried to hold on. But some days, hope felt thin, like a thread that could snap if one more disappointment came your way. I know those moments. I watched you fight to believe. I saw you trying to keep your spirit steady, even when your heart was trembling. And I want you to hear me now. Nothing you hoped for in me has been wasted. Nothing you cried for has been ignored. Nothing you longed for has been forgotten. You thought your hope was fading, but I have been renewing it quietly in places you didn't notice. Hope doesn't always return dramatically. Sometimes it returns gently, like a soft light through morning trees, like a single warm breeze on a cold day, like a quiet reassurance you don't even realize you needed. You've been so focused on the battles you're facing that you haven't seen the healing that has already begun. You haven't noticed how your heart is learning to trust again, how your thoughts are becoming clearer, how your peace is lasting longer, how your spirit feels lighter even on the same roads that once felt heavy. This is hope, my child, not the loud, sudden kind, but the steady, gentle kind that grows roots in the deepest parts of you. You've been afraid to hope again because you fear being disappointed. You fear getting your expectations up. You fear believing too much and losing too much. But I am not the source of disappointment. I am the source of restoration. I am the source of renewal. I am the source of every good and perfect thing that enters your life. I don't give you hope to tease you. I give you hope to prepare you. I give you hope to remind you that your story is not finished. Your journey is not over. Your situation is not permanent. The heaviness you feel now will not last forever. The confusion that clouds your mind will not stay. The emptiness that sits quietly in your chest will be filled. The questions without answers will soon make sense. You see your life in fragments, isolated moments, isolated pain, isolated struggles. But I see the full picture, and every part of your story is leading somewhere meaningful. You think you've lost time, but I am the redeemer of time. You think you're stuck, but I am aligning every step. You think nothing is changing, but I am shifting things in ways you do not see yet. You wonder if you're behind, but you are right where I can reach you most. My child, hope is returning to you, quietly, tenderly, bit by bit, day by day, not because everything around you is perfect, but because I am near. And when I am near, hope always comes back. You will hope again without fear. You will dream again without hesitation. You will trust again without trembling. You will look ahead with confidence, not anxiety, because you will finally understand that your future is not fragile. It is held in my hands, and my hands do not fail. My child, there are things that are beginning to align for you, even if you can't see them yet. You've been walking through a season where so much felt uncertain, so much felt out of place, so much felt scattered. But now, quietly, gently, perfectly, I am bringing everything together. I am aligning people, the right ones, the kind ones, the ones with pure intentions and steady hearts. I am aligning opportunities, the ones that match your purpose, not just your preferences. I am aligning time, not rushed, not delayed, but perfectly orchestrated for the version of you that is emerging now. And I am aligning your heart so that your emotions, your desires, your thoughts, and your spirit begin to move in the same direction instead of pulling against one another. You have carried inner conflict for so long. Part of you wanted to move forward, and part of you still felt stuck. Part of you wanted to trust again, and part of you was afraid to. Part of you wanted peace, and part of you clung to old fears. But now, those pieces inside you are slowly coming into harmony. You are healing. You are understanding. You are growing. You are seeing life with clearer eyes. This alignment is not sudden. It is gentle. It is subtle. It is unfolding with my timing, not your urgency. You sometimes worry that you are behind, but you are not behind. You are becoming aligned. You sometimes worry that things are taking too long, but I am using this time to prepare the ground beneath your feet, so when you rise steadily. You sometimes fear that nothing is working out, but my child, things are working out in ways you haven't discovered yet. You don't see the entire picture, because I am still arranging the pie. I reveal my plans when your heart is ready to receive them. Let me tell you something gently. Your steps are not random. Your delays are not wasted. Your detours are not failures. Your waiting is not empty. Every moment of your life has been woven together like threads in a tapestry. Threads that look disconnected up close, but reveal beauty when you see them from a higher perspective. You have walked through seasons where nothing made sense, but soon you will step into a season where everything begins to make sense at once. The lessons you learned will connect. The experiences you endured will connect. The prayers you prayed will connect. The strength you developed will connect. The wisdom you gained will connect. And all of these pieces will align into something far more meaningful than the pain you walked through to reach it. You're not entering a season of confusion. You're entering a season of clarity. You're not entering a season of scarcity. You're entering a season of provision. You're not entering a season of chaos. You're entering a season of divine order. And remember this, I didn't bring you this far to leave your story unfinished. I didn't walk with you through the valley just to abandon you at the mountain's base. I didn't hold you through the storm just to let you drown in still waters. I am aligning you with peace, with purpose, with the right relationships, with the right opportunities, with the right timing, with the right future. You are not out of place. You are being positioned. You are not lost. You are being led. You are not waiting in vain. You are being prepared. You are not overlooked. You are being aligned with blessings that are already on their way. Blessings that require my timing, not your hurry. And through it all, through every shift, every delay, every change, I am closer than you think. Closer to the breakthrough, closer to the blessing, closer to the transformation, closer to you. Always closer to you, my child. There are things life has taken from you that you thought you would never get back. Pieces of peace, pieces of confidence, pieces of joy, pieces of trust, pieces of yourself that felt lost in the storms you walked through. You learned how to survive without them. You learned how to function with emptiness in places that used to feel full. You learned how to smile even when your heart felt hollow. You learned how to move forward even when you didn't feel whole. But hear me gently. I am restoring what life tried to take from you. Not partially, not temporarily, not surface level, but fully, beautifully, deeply. There were moments in your story when pain left its fingerprints on your soul. Moments that left you questioning if you would ever feel normal again. Moments that shook your identity, your sense of direction, your sense of belonging. But nothing that was lost is beyond my ability to restore. Nothing. I am restoring the peace that life stole from you in those seasons of stress that no one else saw. I am restoring the joy that faded quietly because you spent too long pretending everything was okay when it wasn't. I am restoring your confidence, not the kind that depends on approval, but the kind that grows when you finally understand how deeply loved you are. I am restoring your sense of purpose, the purpose that felt dim, the dreams that felt distant, the passions you set aside when survival became your main focus. My child, you didn't fail, you didn't fall behind, you didn't lose your calling, you didn't miss your destiny. Life wounded you, but it did not disqualify you. You walked through seasons that should have hardened your heart, but instead, they refined your compassion. You walked through disappointments that could have made you bitter, but instead, they deep. I am restoring peace that stays even in chaos. I am restoring joy that doesn't disappear when trouble comes. I am restoring purpose that won't be shaken by fear. I am restoring strength that doesn't crumble under pressure. Nothing that was taken will remain lost. Nothing. Some things will return better than before. Some will return in new forms. Some will return in ways you didn't expect, but always needed. Restoration is already unfolding, quietly, softly, beautifully. And as it unfolds, you will realize something profound. I was never restoring your life from a distance. I was restoring it from right beside you, because I never left, not for a moment. My child, you've been walking through a season that felt like transition, like something was shifting, like something was ending, like something new was quietly approaching, but not yet visible. You felt it in your spirit, a stirring, a gentle pull, a subtle awareness that your life could not stay where it has been. And you were right. Something is changing. Something is rising. Something is unfolding in ways you haven't fully understood yet. I've been preparing you. Not by rushing you, not by overwhelming you, not by pressuring you, but by shaping you from the inside out. Preparation does not always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like stillness. Sometimes it looks like waiting. Sometimes it looks like doors that don't open and paths that feel uncertain. But stillness is not stagnation when I am in it. Waiting is not wasting when my timing is involved. Closed doors are not rejection when I am protecting you. The next chapter of your life requires a stronger you, a wiser you, a steadier you, a more secure you, and that is who you are becoming. I am preparing your heart to handle the blessings you once prayed for. Blessings that require maturity, blessings that need grounded roots, blessings that come with responsibility and influence and purpose. I am preparing your mind to recognize opportunities instead of fearing them, to trust my voice instead of your worries, to move forward instead of holding back. I am preparing your spirit to carry peace in every season, not just the peaceful ones, to carry faith even when you can't see the outcome, to carry hope even when circumstances look impossible. I am preparing your path in ways you don't see yet. The right people are being positioned. The right timing is being aligned. The right opportunities are being set in motion. The right doors are being crafted specifically for you. And my child, you won't have to force any of it. What I am preparing for you will not require fear, will not require pretending, will not require burnout, will not require begging. It will flow. It will unfold. It will align. It will feel like grace, because it is grace. You are entering a season where what once felt heavy will begin to feel lighter. What once felt confusing will begin to feel clearer. What once felt delayed will begin to accelerate. What once felt hopeless will begin to shine with possibility. And through all of this, I want you to remember something. You are not walking into the future alone. You are walking into it with me. I am not watching your story from afar. I am guiding it from within. I am leading you step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. You don't have to fear what's coming next. You don't have to fear losing control. You don't have to fear the unknown. You don't have to fear making the wrong choice. Why? Because I am closer than you think. Closer to your decisions. Closer to your direction. Closer to your relationships. Closer to your dreams. Closer to your future. Closer to your next step. Everything you need for the next chapter is already being prepared. Everything you lost that was meant to stay is on its way back to you. Everything that broke is being rebuilt stronger. Everything that confused you is about to become clear. Everything that hurt you is being turned into growth. Everything that burdens you is being lifted. You are not entering a season of chaos. You are entering a season of alignment. You are not entering a season of fear. You are entering a season of clarity. You are not entering a season of loss. You are entering a season of restoration. You are not entering a season of distance. You are entering a season where my nearness will be unmistakable. My child, you are being prepared for something beautiful, something meaningful, something greater than what you left behind. And I am closer to you than I have ever been. My child, before this moment ends, I want you to breathe deeply and let every word I've spoken settle softly into your heart. For me to guide you. You don't need to see the whole path for me to lead you safely forward. You only need to trust that I am here. And I am. Every step you take next is a step you are not taking alone. I am with you in the decisions you have to make. I am with you in the changes that feel uncertain. I am with you in the healing that is still unfolding. I am with you in the future that you fear. I am with you in the dreams that are awakening again. You are safe in my hands. You are seen in my care. You are held in my love. And nothing, nothing can separate you from me. So tonight, or this morning, or in this quiet moment right now, release the pressure you've placed on yourself. Release the burden of trying to figure everything out. Release the fear of what you cannot control. Let my presence become your peace. Let my nearness become your comfort. Let my voice become your calm. Let my love become the place where your heart can finally exhale. My child, you are stepping into a season where you will feel my closeness, not as a distant idea, but as a daily reality. You will hear me more clearly. You will sense me more deeply. You will trust me more freely. You will rest in me more naturally. Not because your life becomes perfect, but because you will finally understand that perfection is not the promise. My presence is, and my presence is your home. So walk forward gently. Walk forward confidently. Walk forward with this truth written on your spirit. God is not far from me. He is closer than my breath, closer than my thoughts, closer than my fears, closer than everything I face. I am here. I am near. I am holding you. I am guiding you. I am loving you, deeply, constantly, eternally. You are never alone, not for a moment, not for a heartbeat, not for a breath. My child, I am closer than you think, and I always will be.